Okay, this is AMU5L1b, so it's the second half of lesson 1, and we're going to talk about another form of writing the angles, and that's the DMS, or degrees, minutes, seconds. So 1 degree, if you kind of think about it on a clock, 1 degree equals 60 minutes. So for all of those 360 degrees, they divided each one of those into 60 smaller parts, so we can be more precise. And then that wasn't enough, so they said, let's take each minute now. So remember, you've got 1 degree of the circle that you cut into 60 parts. Then you took one of those and you cut it into 60 more parts. So if we back up, how many seconds is 1 degree worth? Well, if every degree has 60 minutes and every minute has 60 seconds, then 1 degree has 3,600 seconds. We just multiply 60 times 60. Okay, symbolism now. A degree is the little circle up above the number. A minute is 1 hash mark, and a second is 2. So if I wanted to write a degree measure, let's say 57 degrees and 37 minutes and 18 seconds. See, that would be a lot more precise than just saying 57 degrees. So now let's look at a process of converting a decimal form of an angle measure to this new form, degrees, minutes, seconds. So what you want to do, now your degree part, the part before the decimal, that's not going to change. So you can just go ahead and put that in your final answer and put the degree mark by it. So what we want to do is convert the decimal part of it to minutes and seconds. So first we're going to take the whole decimal part, 875, and we're going to multiply that by how many minutes are in a degree, and that's 60. So that's going to give you 52.5 minutes, okay? And we're going to just use the whole number part of that. That becomes your minutes. Now, we're going to take what's left over, the rest of the decimal, and we're going to multiply it by 60 again, because that's a part of a minute. Now we want to change it to seconds. So when we multiply that, we're going to get 30, and that's seconds. So that's the process. Take the whole decimal part, multiply by 60, take just the whole number part, then take what's left over and multiply it by 60 again, and that becomes your minutes. And if you get a decimal here, we're going to go ahead and round that up. Okay, we're not going to carry it any further than that. So let's look at some problems. Okay, for number 1, we have 15.48 degrees, and we want to convert it to DMS form. So what we want to do, now the 15, I can go ahead and write that down in my answer blank, 15 degrees. But I'm going to have to take the 48 degrees and I'm going to multiply that, 0.48 times 60. Now when you multiply that, you're going to get 28.8, and this is minutes. So now I have 28 minutes, and I'm going to take the 0.8 and I'm going to multiply it times 60 again, and that's going to get me 48 seconds. Okay, for number 2, we have 150.2 degrees. So the 150 degrees is going to stay like it is. Now all I'm going to do is take the 0.2 and multiply that times 60, and that is going to get me 12 minutes with no left over. So that's where I stop. Okay, for number 3, I have 89.915 degrees. So I'm going to take the 89, that becomes the degrees, and I'm going to take the decimal 915, multiply that times 60, and that is going to get me 54.9. And this is minutes. So I'm going to take the 54, go ahead and put it up here. Now I'm going to take the 0.9 and I'm going to multiply it by 60 again, and that's going to get me 54. So I have 54 seconds. For number 4, we have 340.375 degrees. So what we're going to do is first, let's take the whole number part. We're going to use 340 degrees. Now I'm going to take the decimal and I'm going to multiply that by 60. And that will get me 22.5 minutes. So I'm going to take the 22, and then I'm going to take that 0.5 minute and change it to seconds by multiplying it by 60 again. And that, yes, gets me 30. Okay, number 5, I have 48.526 degrees. And I'm going to change it to degrees, minutes, seconds. So take the 48. That's going to be degrees. Now take the 526. We're going to multiply that by 60. So when you multiply 526 by 60, you get 31.56 minutes. So I'm going to take the 31 minutes. Now I'm going to take that 0.56 minutes and I'm going to change it to seconds by multiplying it by 60. So that's going to give me 33.6. And like I said, once we get to minutes, we're just going to round off, up or down. This will round up to 34. And number 6, we're going to take 273. That's our degrees. Now we're going to take 771.771 and we're going to multiply that by 60 minutes, and that's going to give us 46.26 minutes. So we're going to keep the 46. We're going to take the 0.26 minutes and we're going to multiply it by 60, which will change it to seconds, and that will get us 15.6 seconds, and we're going to round that up as well to 16 seconds. Okay, for number 7, we've got 105.394 degrees, and we're going to change that to DMS form. So the 105 degrees is going to stay the same. Now we're going to take 0.394, and we're going to multiply it times 60 minutes. And when you do that multiplication, you will get 23.64 minutes. So we're going to take the 23 minutes. Now we're going to take the 0.64 and we're going to convert that to seconds by multiplying times 60 seconds. And that will give us 38.4 seconds. And like I said, we're not going to use a decimal, so when you round this, since this is less than 5, it's going to round down to 38. Okay, final answer. Okay, for number 8, we've got 308.812 degrees. So we're going to keep the 318 degrees. We're going to take the decimal 812 and we're going to multiply that times 60 minutes. Now when I multiply that, I'm going to get 48.72 minutes. I'm going to take the 48 part, then I'm going to take the 0.72 and, yes, multiply it times 60 seconds. So that's going to give me 43.2 seconds. Since this is less than 5, I'm going to round down to 43, and that should be minutes. Okay, 43 seconds. And there we go. Now let's see if we can go backwards. And now we're going to go backwards. We're going to start with something in DMS form, and we're going to convert it to decimal. Now just remember, when we went from decimal to DMS, we multiplied by 60s. So we're undoing that. And what undoes multiplication? Division does. So here's what we're going to do. Our final answer is going to include this. We're not worried about that. We're just going to try to convert the minutes and the seconds. So we're going to take the minutes and we are going to divide those by 60. So 9 divided by 60 is 0.15. Now on the seconds, we're going to take the 50 seconds and we're going to divide it by, well, how many seconds were there in a degree? 3,600. So we're going to divide 50 by 3600, and that's going to give me 0.0139. Now for the final answer, we're going to add all these together. We're going to add 73 degrees plus 0.15 plus 0.0139, and that is going to give me 73.1639 degrees, and that's decimal form of this. So let's practice. Okay, so here's number 9, 37 degrees, 36 minutes. Now the 37, we're not going to fool with that. That's going to be in our final answer. We're going to take the minutes and multiply by 60, divide by 60. So if I divide 36 by 60, then that's going to get me 0.6, and then I'm going to come back and get the 37 degrees, and I'm going to add that to 0.6, so I get 37.6 degrees. Okay, number 10, I've got 315 degrees, 8 minutes DMS, and I want to change it to decimal. I'm not fooling with the degree part. I'm just going to try to convert the minutes to a decimal. So I'm going to take 8 minutes and divide it by 60. Now when you divide 8 by 60, you're going to get 0.1333. We're going to add 315 degrees to that, and that's going to get us a final answer of 315.1333 degrees. And we are going to be going out to 4 decimal places on these. Okay, number 11, 84 degrees, 52 minutes, 18 seconds. We want to convert that to decimal. So we're not going to do anything with the degree part yet. We're going to take the 52 minutes and we're going to divide that by 60. And that is going to give us a decimal of 0.8667. Then we're going to take the 18 seconds and we're going to divide that by the 3600. All right, and that's going to get us 0.005. So now for our final answer, we're going to add the 84 degrees plus the 0.8667 degrees plus the 0.005 degrees, and that is going to get us a final answer of 84.8717 degrees. For number 12, we're going to convert 121 degrees, 4 minutes, 45 seconds to a decimal. Not touching the 121, but we are going to take the 4 minutes and we're going to divide that by 60. So 4 divided by 60 is 0.0667. Then we're going to take the 45 seconds and we're going to divide that by 3600. So 45 divided by 3600 is 0.0125. So now what we're going to do is take 121 and we're going to add 0.0667, these are all degrees, plus 0.0125 degrees, and we're going to get a final answer of 121.0792 degrees. Okay, for number 13, we're going to convert 310 degrees, 28 minutes, 20 seconds to decimal. Not touching the 310, but we are going to multiply the 28 minutes. Now we're going to divide 28 minutes by 60. And when you divide 28 minutes by 60, that's going to get you 0.4667. All right, we're going to take the seconds, the 20 seconds, and we're going to divide that by 3600. And that is going to get us 0.0056. Now we're going to add it all together, 310 plus 0.4667 degrees plus 0.0056 degrees, and that's going to get us a final answer of 310.4723 degrees. Okay, for number 14, we're going to convert 8 degrees, 34 minutes, 16 seconds. Not touching the 8 degrees, but I'm going to take 34 minutes and I'm going to divide that by 60, and that is going to get me 0.5667. Then I'm going to take the 16 seconds and I'm going to divide that by 3600, which will get me 0.0044. So then we're going to add 8 plus 0.5667 plus 0.0044, which will get me a final answer of 8.5711 degrees. For number 15, we're going to take 50 degrees, 14 minutes, 56 seconds, and convert that to decimal. We're not touching the 50. We're going to take 14 minutes and we're going to divide that by 60. So when you do 14 divided by 60, you're going to get 0.2333. Then we're going to take the 56 seconds and we're going to divide that by the 3600, and that is going to get us 0.0156. Last step is to take the 50 degrees and add that to 0.2333 plus 0.0156, and that will get us 50.2489 degrees. Now we're going to take 253 degrees, 46 minutes, 5 seconds, and convert it to a decimal, not touching the degree part, but I'm going to take 46 minutes and I'm going to divide that by 60, and that will get me 0.7667. Then I'm going to take the 5 seconds and divide that by 3600, and that will get me 0.0014. Then I'm going to add 253 degrees plus 0.7667 degrees plus 0.0014 degrees, and that will get me 253.7681 degrees. And that is all of lesson 1. Congratulations.